Welcome back, singers. It's Laura, and this is the weekly warm-up where I share clear, fun voice education to help you enjoy your singing even more. Today, I want to talk to you about jaw drop. So the idea of dropping the jaw to open the mouth and make more space. This seems like it should be fairly simple, but in fact, it's a tricky thing. A lot of folks struggle with a lot of tension in the jaw and maybe even pain in the jaw joint. So let's talk today about which muscles actually control that opening and how to take advantage of that action so that it can be really free and not painful. Let's begin by looking at the muscles of the jaw and just talking about how it opens and closes. So first, put your hands right here, kind of in front of your ears, gently, and you're going to gently clench your teeth. Don't hurt yourself, but I want you to feel the action of the masseter muscle. Do you feel that muscle kind of jumping into contraction there? That is the masseter muscle which closes the jaw. Now, that muscle is overactive in a lot of people. We kind of sing with it engaged all the time. And the important thing for you to realize at this point is that that is the closing muscle. That muscle cannot do anything to open the jaw. So its action is only to close. In the same way that on your arm, you have one muscle to open up, the tricep, and one muscle to pull the arm into contraction. That's the bicep. So we have opposite side muscles to control the opposing movements. I'm gonna use this one, open, and I'm gonna use this one to pull here. Those two muscles are in opposition. So what is the muscle that's in opposition to this? It might not be where you expect. In fact, the muscle that helps to open the jaw, the main one, attaches under here. That actually attaches in a really unusual way. I'm gonna try and draw a picture and insert it over here, but basically the idea is that it comes up here, it sort of loops through a little loopy hole, or like a little loop, in the larynx, and then up this way to attach up here on the skull. And the idea, because it's that kind of like pulley action here, when the jaw opens, it's actually being pulled slightly down and back, kind of swinging this way as it opens. Now, whenever I explain this to singers, as I'm talking about it, I can see them starting to move their jaws. And indeed, they're doing it in that way that sort of swings down and back. And what many of them find is that that is very different from how they normally open, and it doesn't create that kind of dislocating, popping, or painful feeling here in the TMJ joint. Okay, let's try an exercise that will allow us to practice this way of dropping our jaws. So let's do this pattern, nice and simple. My. Try that with me. My. Now, when you do that, can you feel, is there any kind of extra hanging on here during the opening part of that activity? This is your closer muscle. So this should happen on the way up for that M. But when you're on the ah vowel, it should be released because this muscle is doing the work of pulling the jaw open. So try that again and make sure that this muscle is only active when you're closing. Ready? Let's go here. My. And one more. My. Now I want to point out something that often happens, and it happens to me too. Sometimes as we get into more stressed positions, like high notes, these kinds of things, we might try to compensate and drop the jaw by actually, rather than dropping it, kind of shoving it forward. See if this looks familiar. My. And from the side, it's quite extreme. My. Can you see me bringing the jaw forward rather than dropping it down and back? My. So this is another great time to look in the mirror. I really recommended this a few weeks ago. This is the kind of thing where you may not yet have the kinesthetic awareness to catch yourself when you're not swinging the jaw down and back, but rather shooting it forward. But if you look in the mirror, you will see it. You'll either just see it move forward on its own, or you may see the bottom lip come up over the bottom teeth. And that's a great indicator that the jaw is sort of shooting forward rather than swinging down and back. So there's our exercise for this week. I hope that it was helpful for you and that you were able to sort of take those images of that anatomy into your mind and to allow that to help you make that beautiful, open, resonant, relaxed, non-painful space. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, come back every Thursday for more voice education. And if you'd like some tips and some encouragement right in your email inbox, do sign up for the newsletter. It's totally free. There's a link down in the description box below. And in the meanwhile, thank you for practicing.